We are now going to go to another Gina, this one in Graysville. Gina, please go ahead with your question for Gina.
Hey, thank you for taking my call tonight. I just have a couple of questions about the bankruptcy, which way I should go. I have a car. I have a couple cars that I'm not able to finish out the debt on. I have a couple of medical bills, things like that, due to health issues. I've lost hours at work, so my income has been decreased a lot. Considering bankruptcy, I have about $35,000, maybe $40,000 debt.
Does that $35,000, hi Gina, does that $35,000 include your car debt, or is that like medical credit card debt?
The 2 cars and medical.
So the 2 cars, you're behind on your payments, is that what you're telling me?
Correct.
Okay. Do either of those cars, do you need those cars, or do you have another car that you can drive if those 2 cars go back to the bank or to the creditor?
I have other options.
Okay, that's good to know. If it's a car that you can't afford to pay, then you need to let that car go if you have another option. Down the road, you can look at getting another car and refinancing it. With regard to your medical bills, those would go away in a Chapter 7, as would your credit card bills. The important thing in Chapter 7 to take note of is, do you own anything? Do you have assets that are worth more, like for the house, for example? Do you have too much equity in your house? I'm assuming you don't have too much equity in your personal property, which you're allowed to have $9,400 worth of stuff, household goods and furnishings, equity in cars, money in the bank. If you came to see me, more than likely I would start with the Chapter 7. The other thing that drives the Chapter 7, though, is how much money you make. And since you indicated to me that your income has gone down, there are numbers that we have to match. For a household of 1, there's so much money that you can make, a household of 2. So it would depend on how many people live in your home. I call it heads on the bed, and then how much money you actually make. But you sound like a good candidate just by what you're saying for a Chapter 7 if you haven't ever done one before. It's something to give a lot of thought to, though. You can only have one bite at that apple every 8 years, so think about that as well.
Gina, thank you for calling. We certainly wish you the best. It sounds like there's a lot of tough situations like so many facing, so we wish you the best as you move forward and make that decision. Thank you for calling tonight.